Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back to Toon Tuesdays, your weekly roundup of Newcastle United news. Now, there has been a lot going on in the last week. A lot of it negative related to the pillock that is Mike Ashley. But we will come on to that later in the video. A week ago today, we played our first friendly against St Patrick's Athletic out in Ireland and won 2-0. Goals for Longstaff and Atsu got a pen, so it's great to start off the pre-season with a first friendly win. Great to see Longstaff getting a goal for Newcastle, and we also saw a couple of other players we don't normally see, like Fernandez. So good to see us getting our first pre-season win, and tonight we are playing against Hull. So everyone who's gone down there, hope you guys enjoy the game. I was hoping this friendly was going to be on a weekend, so I could have gone. But with it being a weeknight, unfortunately, I couldn't make it. But fingers crossed it'll be a good game. Looking forward to seeing some players like Longstaff potentially getting another shot in the team. I think there's going to be a lot of changes with it being a pre-season friendly, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Key could be making his first appearance for Newcastle. I imagine he will do. He returned from his extended break after the World Cup and will be wearing number 4 this season, so great to see how he does tonight, and just in general how the team lines up, what players get used. I think there's going to be a lot of subs at half time to give everyone a shout. But yeah, for everyone who went down there, hope it's a good game, hope we get the win, and yeah, fingers crossed. And the friendlies are coming thick and fast because this Saturday we play Porto. The lads are heading out to Portugal. We play Porto on Saturday, and then we also play Braga while we're out there as well. So the friendlies are underway and we're getting closer and closer to the start of the Premier League. One thing that isn't happening is transfers coming in, which I know we're all very unhappy about at the moment. I'm not going to go into that too much, but we have seen some players leave the club in the last week. A player who has now officially left, and I have just mentioned Porto, Chancellor Mbemba has now officially signed for Porto and could make his debut for them against us on Saturday. This has been in the firing line for ages. It's looked like he was going to be going, and now he officially has, for around 5 to 6 million, it's led to believe. So good luck to Mbemba. We have also now been linked with some other centre-backs who are supposedly going to come in and replace him. Whether any of that's true, I have no idea at this moment, but good luck to Mbemba over in Porto. I hope things go well for him. Another player who has left is Jack Colback. He has joined Nottingham Forest on a season-long loan. Rafa told him he wasn't part of his plans, and it's always been looking likely he was going to be heading to Nottingham Forest. Now, his contract actually ends in 12 months' time, so when his season-long loan ends at Nottingham Forest, it's probably likely that he will sign for them or move to a different club. A little bit annoying that we couldn't just get him off the books now. Just get him sold to Nottingham Forest for whatever the fee would be. But hopefully Nottingham Forest will be paying his wages. So at least that's some revenue for us. And then at the end of the season he can do whatever he likes. Not a current player of ours, but Tim Krul. Was always a fan of Tim Krul. He was at Brighton, he got released and has now joined Norwich on a 2-year deal. So good luck to Tim Krul and his new adventure over at Norwich. Another player who is linked away but has not gone yet is Alexander Mitrovic. He is due back from his extended World Cup break at some point this week. Now supposedly the reason Fulham haven't purchased him yet is because they haven't valued it around 16 million and we haven't valued it around 18 million. So I think this will go through. I think it's very likely that he hasn't returned to Newcastle just yet because he's hoping the deal will go through with Fulham and he can just move on straight there. Now, Fulham put in a bid for Jose, supposedly 26 million bid for the striker from Real Sociedad. Now, they have a buyout clause on him for 45 million. So they want someone to meet that buyout clause. So although Fulham have put in that bid for him, I think it could potentially be a bit of a, you know, we are looking elsewhere. We don't want to give us Mitro. We are in the offering for other strikers as well. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I am confident that the Mitro Fulham transfer will go through. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because I don't want this to be dragging on. As for transfers coming in now, I hate discussing rumours, especially when an owner like Mike Ashley's involved, because nothing ever seems to actually come off. But with Mbemba going to Porto, we have now been linked with 2 other centre-backs, starting off with Diego Reyes. Mexican centre-back, 25 years old, was at Porto, spent some time on loan with Real Sociedad and then Espanyol, currently now a free agent. And it's recently been rumoured that we are now linked with him, so we'll have to see what happens with that one. The other centre-back we are linked with is Fabian Schär. Now, he is 26 years old and currently plays for Deportivo. Now, he has a release clause of 3 million, and we are also linked with him. And the other transfer we are linked with, which I do know a lot more about, is Joe Bryan. Now, he is a left-back for Bristol City, currently valued at around 6 million, and only has 12 months left on his contract, which means in January he's actually able to speak to clubs as and when he wants for potentially joining at the end of next season. So Bristol City have valued him at 6 million. A lot of teams are very interested to get him in the summer before the next season starts. Newcastle are included, Wolves are also included. There's a few championship teams, Leeds and Middlesbrough I believe, and also apparently there's some German sides who are interested in this guy. He was probably the best left back for me in the championship last year, if not the best, one of the best. And as much as Paul Dummett did a very decent job for us last season, Bryan would give us a bit more of an attacking edge from the left back position. At least a bit of cover in that position, because at the minute we have Dummett and Manquillo. So to bring in another left back would be very decent, and like I said, I think he looks like a good player. Now, those are just rumours, so do not take them as gospel from me, but one thing that is scaring me now in this transfer window is that Mbemba, you know, he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I thought he was a decent centre-back to have in the club. Even Mitrovic, again, not everyone's favourite player, but he's a striker to have in the squad. And at the start of the transfer window, to let players like that leave, to bring in money to spend on new players, seemed like a good idea. But now the transfer window is winding down, and the chance to spend that money, if we are allowed to spend that money, there's not long in the transfer window left. So I do not want these. I mean, it looks like they're going, and now we are continuously rumoured with new players. I just hope that, especially if Mitro does go for as much as 16, 18 million, that we have the time and we do invest it in a new striker, which we desperately need. We needed it last season, so we need it now. And to finish off this video, I have to talk about the petition and hashtag that is, if Rafa goes, we go. Now, before I talk about that directly, I also want to talk about the fact that MP Chi Onwurah, who's a British Labour Party MP for Newcastle, has also started her own petition calling on Parliament to intervene over the lack of investment and support of Rafa Benitez. She said that football is an integral part of Newcastle social, economic and cultural well-being, and Newcastle fans are heavily invested in financially and emotionally with Newcastle. Onwurah said that a petition needs to have a certain wording in order to be presented to Parliament. That means I couldn't bring the Rafa petition directly to Parliament, so I've put together a petition of my own to ensure that the issue was raised in the House of Commons. So this is massive, and it needs to be, because we all know that Ashley needs to go now. Like I said, this week, although I've discussed a lot in this video, this is the big thing that has been exploding all over the internet. Whether Onwurah's petition gets taken to the House of Commons or not, and hopefully it does, and hopefully something good happens from it, regardless, it is creating the publicity of the fact that he needs to go. We've all known it, and it's just putting it on a higher stage for everyone to see. Same with that if Rafa goes, we go hashtag. That has been exploding all over the internet, all over Twitter. You all know he hasn't signed his contract. He's not getting the money that he wants. And the fact that people are literally saying they will not go and support Newcastle United, they won't go to the games to support their local team in order to get this man out, shows what a massive scale this has come to. I understand it completely. That, like I just said, it has gotten so far now to the point where people are willing to do anything just to get this man out of our club. So I support the fact that it's being created because we need to take a bigger step in the right direction. As for me, I have renewed my season ticket and I do plan to continue renewing my season ticket to go to the games, to support Newcastle United, support the team, the players, the club, to support Rafa Benitez for as long as he is here. And if he does go, I hope he doesn't, but if he does go, I will continue to support our team. But the person I do not support is Mike Ashley and his regime. Now, I've seen other ideas online, ideas like people going in wearing DW Sports t-shirts or taking in an A4 bit of paper with DW Sports on, so we can still go and support our team, but at the same time we can do something that can affect Mike Ashley and even beat him at his own advertisement game. I think what may happen is this season will end, he'll spend no money, Rafa will go, and then he'll sell the club. I think he's in it for one final season to try and make as much money out of us as humanly possible before he goes. And that's why we've seen no spending at all. And I think that's what he's going to do. So it'll be great to see him leave the club at the end of the season, if that is actually what happens, which could easily not be. And we're going to have to do all of this again. But it's going to be a tough season, it really is, especially when there's absolutely no investment. People are obviously upset that because there's been no investment, Rafa isn't signing a new contract. And I don't want to leave this on a low, but the fact that people are talking about these petitions going to Parliament, if Rafa goes, we go, we don't want this. We just want some spending on our players, on our team, no ridiculous prices on strips. It's all just kicking off this week, and what we want to be doing is looking forward to the start of the Premier League, but instead we're dealing with all of this. So yeah, it's not been easy for me, and I'm sure all of you Newcastle United fans, but we're just going to have to see what happens. So fingers crossed at Hull tonight, Porto on Saturday, and yeah, we're just going to have to see what happens. But thank you for watching. Drop a like if you are enjoying this series. Hopefully I might have some better news for you guys next Tuesday. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you later.